Okay, good afternoon, all of you. As you all know me, most of you may not know me. I'm just kidding. So, my name is Samuel. Today we will be presenting script writing. So I see here some of you and most of you are non-Mizo. So you may not understand Mizo, right? Okay, so everything is written in English. We may mix sometimes so for better explanation. I hope you understand that one. Okay, and a full slide can't be there. Okay, so before we start, okay, a brief introduction about myself. We have just heard from our host. I have written 11 screenplay, let's say, and among them, 8 of them are my original story. And luckily, I also received Best Screenwriter Award last year. And among my films, some of them received Best Film, Best Series, and it was an honor for me also. And I just want to ask one question before we start. So, have anyone experienced in writing or a script or anything, screenplay or from among here? No one. So we are all are beginning. Okay. How much? Okay. Is it a full screenplay or just a short film script? So, okay, have you produced that one? Okay, thank you, thank you. Okay, how about you? Okay. So why I'm asking this one because uh, today we are going to learn only the basic things which we will be able to practice right away after this class, right? So we are not going to go into details from the history and all these things and into very deep deep and technical things, right? So I received a message from our organizer about this. The topic is script writing. We will be talking about this one also. So when we say, next slide, look, next slide. So this will be our content. So again, when we talk about the word script writing, what is the first things comes into our mind? I just want to ask again. Is it a film, a movie? Yeah. Is it a story writing? Okay. So when we say script writing, it is a very broad discipline, right? It can include many things for media, for different media. It can include, when I say, for example, I'm a beginner YouTuber, right? So I may want to do podcast also. Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is a script, right? So, and I may attend radio, right? So if I narrate some things, that one is a script, right? So it can include everything. Next slide. So this one, we will be understanding first script writing. When we say script writing, it is a very broad discipline. It can include commercial, it can include radio, podcast, television. So today, we are here in Film Fest, so we will be talking about screenwriting. So when we say screenwriting, it is also a script writing, right? But it is a part of a script writing. So we will not talk about script writing. We will talk about screenwriting here. So when you say screenwriting, it is basically for the film, right? So it is for the story, and it has a standard format for universal. It has universal standard, so everyone is using that one even international, right? So, and again, how about screenplay? Many of us confuse this one, right? When you say script, are you a script writer? How many scripts you've written? How about screenplay? I'm a best screenwriter. And how many scripts have you written? How is your screenplay? So some of even my friends, they confuse this one. When we say screenplay, it is a full written screenwriting, right? So if we say screenplay, that is the written part, the technical thing which is inside that screenplay is the screenwriting. So we'll talk about this one. So what exactly is screenwriting? Next. So first of all, we'll talk about the workflow. What do we need in screenwriting? We'll talk about this story development later and even the writing the script. So I just want to highlight this one. Everything is written here, so I will not go into details everything. So you may watch some movie, no? So you may got some review, or you may also want to review, and some expert may say, no, the plot is good, but the storyline is somehow something, and the story structure is good, and the story is good. How about the plot? So most of us have confused this one. So we have to know this difference first. This is the building blocks of screenplay. First, there is a scene, and then there is those scenes are break into a sequence again. And then when we say a plot, that is the arrangement of that sequence. So we can arrange here and there, no? We just watch that short movie. So that is, we'll talk about that one later. That is non-linear drama type. So the first scene we see is that man, no? And then the arrangement of the plot is non-linear. So it is not arranged in chronological order, in the order. So the plot, when you say the plot, it is the arrangement of events, no? And then when we say the story structure, it is how we organize the story. And the story, we know the story, right? Everything that is written from beginning to end. And then the storyline, that is just a brief summary, no? And then the theme is the meaning, no? The message of that theme and the concept. So we'll talk about this story structure also in a later slide. So next slide. We'll not. There are 20 slides here, so we will not discuss into details. Like I said, here are the difference between story structure and screenwriting. Why I am putting this one? Because many of us confuse this one. No? It's like I have experienced that most of the story writer also try to write screenwriting, no? But they try to follow that technique in story writing, but that's different. They use many dialogue to express those feelings, those emotions, but in screenwriting that is different. So in story writing is like a novel, no? A novelist can, let's say, can describe his emotion, his feelings, no? For hours. He can write for hours. And then how about if you want to write how beautiful the sunset was, no? You can write many lines. No? So how will you write in that screenwriting? How will you write in screenplay? You cannot just write like that. No, you cannot write the sunset is very beautiful. You have to show that one. So that is the difference. So we always say visual storytelling. Right? So we have to show visually in script writing. There are many examples. I will not say all those things. And here it shows how it happens. And the most important thing is here. If I can tell this story, the question we must ask here is, did I can tell this story, or did I can show this story? Did I can show this feeling? Did I can show this action? That one is to be asked for screenwriters. So we already talked about the story and plot here. Stories tells us how the events happens, and the plot tells us how it arranges. So next slide. So we can say that screenwriting is a part of an art, right? It is a part of a craft also, because we need some skills. We need some skills for story structure, right? We need some skill for arrangement, the story arrangements, all these things. It is a part of a craft. And we can say this is also an artistic vision. It is an art, pure art. So if you have, let's say, a good observation skills or imagination skills, or if you can read human behavior, no, if you observe something very beautifully, and you already have these skills of writer, no? So you can use that one in story writing also. But how about screenwriting? You also need to have that skills of all these things: story structure, plot construction, character development, scene design, writing dialogue. You also need to be very good in literature, right? If you want to write a good dialogue. So everything is important here. There is much difference between this story and script writing. Okay? And then we can, if you can use this subtext, symbolism also, that is very common in screenwriting. We will discuss about this later. And if you have this artistic vision, this is all a part of art. And then you have to be very good in everything. No? You have to be a good storyteller, a good observer. You need to see how people talk. You need to observe people, right? You need to see how people talk, how they react. And you need to do research. If you want to write about a doctor or about a soldier, how will you just write if you never have experience? Right? You need to research. Right? So screenwriting or story writing, whatever, is not just writing. It is about, let's say, it is about learning life. It is about learning emotion, learning conflict. So this is a part of the art and craft of screenwriting. So next slide. Kan 𝐿𝐻𝐿𝐿𝐿 nga achan chu slide hi tam ve re wang hian. So first, we knew about the story writing at the foundation. We need to build the story, right? What we need to know first is what kind of film are you making? This will be your number one. And then how do you want your audience to experience that film? Nah? And then where do your story come from, your ideas? We'll talk about this. Okay, we'll talk about this, but we'll not take that much long. Okay, so next slide. First, film type. So when you watch film, you may have different, there are many film type, right? So I just list out here the most common one, popular one. So if you want to, if you want to engage large audience or commercially profit, you can choose commercial film, right? So if you want your ideas, your vision, your themes to express, so if you want your artistic value, your artistic expression to put in your film, you can choose art film. But let's say international and even in Bollywood, India, and even in Mizoram, commercial are still the most popular one, right? Because even if you see blockbuster movie or box office, commercial film are still the most popular one. We just watched that short drama, no? But what kind of film is that then? Can you tell me? That is like, let's say, an experience movie, no? Someone's story. So we can say an art film or independent film. So it is a festival material type. So we have to choose this one. So next slide. So you have to choose the genre again. What kind of genre again? So here I list out 5 most popular one again. There are also horror, sci-fi. So these 5 genre, let's say, if you have the ability to write all these types of genre. They used to say that you can write all genre. So these are the basic genre which we can express our emotion. So nowadays we always mix, no, drama comedy, romance comedy, something like that. So it's better if you can mix all. So, but the most popular, let's say again, drama is still the most popular one, which our emotions can be expressed, right? So, okay, next slide. So this one, how do you find your ideas? From my personal experience, I usually find ideas from imagination and observation, like we already mentioned, no? So you can find your ideas, like we say, from anything. Stories come from anything, no? From your observation, from your happy moment, from your, let's say, sad experience. So this finding ideas is very important because this one is the foundation, the basic. This is the starting point of your story. So if you have a very sad story, no, you can turn into a very emotional story. So why this one is important? So if I want to write, let's say, if 𝐼𝐸𝐭𝐞𝐥 한린이래 리나 간 ento mo I munom intiem in emotional na khoivem khoitoro nile kha keima experience atanga kazi inringem. Do you think that I wrote that from my experience? No. Okay. Most of most of my friends, even some of my colleagues, they look at me. You write script? How do you write? Because story writing is different, right? This is our imagination. How do I write a very emotional love story if I have never experienced in love stories, something like that? How do I write a heartbreak story now if I have never experienced heartbreak? So from your imagination, from your observation, this one, if you have this, like I said, imagination skill, observation skills, you can write a very good story. So you can just simply ask, what if? No, what if some gang members enter this room and kidnap us all? No, you can start like that story also. So from the book you read, from the news you watch, from from the drama you watch, from everything. So this one is important. You must have this observation skills, imagination skills. You can mix them and you can combine them to get this good idea. And one thing, whenever we find a very interesting idea, right? Don't memorize it. You have to write it down, no, in your phone or notebook, something like that. Don't trust your memory because these good ideas all quickly fade away. Okay? Trust me, I have experienced this one. So if you have any dialogue or any experience, or if you have observed very good thing to attach in your story or film writing or screenwriting, you just write it down. This one is my simple advice. Okay, next one. So now we build the foundation. We have, this one is the part which we choose to create direction. How we choose our story to build. No, so there I write two approach here: storytelling style and writing approach. Next slide. Okay, here. We'll not go into details. You just read this one. So if you are like a beginner writer, you can choose linear. This is simple writing. You can write from beginning to end. There is beginning, middle, end. There's just simple writing. But if your story, if you want a complicated story, like a puzzle, like if you want your audience attention, you can write non-linear. These are just the names. You can, all these things you have to use as a guide, no? So I will say again, we just watched that drama. That one is non-linear. So that one is like artistic independent movie. So it is a very, what, a very emotional, but we just we did not directly hype that movie, the story, no. We just knew later, something like that. It is non-linear, it is very complicated. So parallel, different timeline, multiple timeline. So all this one, so in the beginning, I asked you how much have you experienced, which is why I will not talk about this much, because I hope most of you are already beginner, no? So you can just write linear from beginning to end. If you want to more complicated, you can write linear. Next. So writing approach, this one also, when we say, I will just explain this too, character-driven and plot-driven, and theme-driven. These are the most important one, 5 most important one. How many have you watched from the Mizo, Conductor Zara? In entotoro, nile kanu puchuru rin ento mo. Kaka nile nang mani ngay danin mo. Karakter nge poi mo inti plot takhan. Okay. So I will explain this one. Character driven. When you say character driven, the character is the most important character. His experience, his decision, his emotion drive the story. So the plot exists because of the character. So this type of filmmaking is character driven. This writing approach. When you say plot driven, the plot, the events is the most important one. So character exists because of the plot. So why I'm talking about Conductor Zara? Conductor Zara ka decision avang kan story ka kalchin itro. Join punung ako kanu puchuru rute po kanen join chang tunule chang tupa ka an decision apia kan story ka tikain akal zel chinta. But when punung colony ve thunga chon mo antinain punung colony a chon upload kan a character karon roitani kaka plot driven anyway thunga. How about theme driven? Theme driven, a theme, the message is the most important one. We can say Pubong and friends, no? Kaka a theme ka apoy mo ber theme a kanin kaning lo top mai ni kan sorbing top ta ka tian kan chisang chang ka zia dan ka kaka kan practice thelo kan shit ve me apo chamo kak tian kan ita chuanin mystery te chu hai high concept te chu I 𝐿𝐿 what if ang premise ang sika. Next slide. So we have developed the story, no? So we know how to approach the writing, and now we are developing the story now. So we have you have the idea, no? You have the concept. So what is the concept? The idea is the starting point. The concept is what if. No, we already mentioned the theme also. We already mentioned the story. So these 4 things build the story. No, so again, just one example. We all watched Titanic movie? Yes, right. So in Titanic, what is the concept? Let's say. What if? What is the concept in Titanic? What will be the concept, let's say? Titanic, the ship sink, that is the idea, right? So if we talk about the concept, what if 2 people from different classes fall in love on that ship? That is the concept. And how about the theme? What is the theme of Titanic? It is about love, sacrifice. So that is the theme. So we write story, we write screenplay. So if the writer did not know about the concept, the theme, the idea, all these things, the story summary, the story structure, and if we cannot explain to some others people, No, we will not be able to be a good writer. So all these things is very important. Very simple, but very important. Okay. Okay. Next. Okay. Now we have developed the story. This I list out here the story structure. These are the most common one. I will not explain this one, but I will explain the next one. Why I am putting this one? Because all this structure, if you can see here, there are different structure, different names and different diagram, but they all want to tell different universal element. No, so that is what we are going to learn next slide. So next, this one is the 3x structure. This is one of the most popular one, most common one, and universally used. And this one is also widely used in story writing. Okay, so if you are a beginner writer, you can use this one. And like I said, this is just for guide to avoid unnecessary scene, all those things. Now, to put where to put the conflict, where to put the rising action, all these things. So this one you can use in guide. So here we can see there is 3x. We can write 4, 5x also, but the 3x is the most common one. So in Act 1, this should not belong about 20%, right? So in Act 1, we introduce the world, the opening. There is exposition, there is inciting incident, and what is the main story? What is inciting incident? This one is inciting incident is the beginning of the story. No, so the story, this inciting incident help the story to conflict. The building blocks of the story. So everything starts from the rising action. So no, I mean the incident, inciting incident. So here we have Act 2. This is the longest part. Here we have obstacle. Right? There's some the main character may face some problem, may make mistakes, something like that. So we have Act 3. This is the resolution. Everything confirms here. So when you say I will explain only inciting incident, rising action, and all these things, these are the most important one. So inciting incident is the, like we said, this is the, suppose you write a story, no? So you write a love story, let's say 2 people fall in love, and then 2 people meet, they fall in love, they married, they live happily, no conflict, right? So it will be a boring story. But how will you put that inciting incident, or how will you put that conflict? You can put some distraction, no, from opposition from the others members of the family, something like that. So when that event happened, that is the rising action. And then it comes to the story, and then when I mean it's the inciting incident, I always confuse this one. So rising action, then that obstacle become more and more. So that is the rising action. So everything is written here. I will not explain into details this one also. So this will be our guide for our story structure. This is how we organize the story. So you will never, maybe never able to write exactly like this one. So this one for guide. Okay. So next slide. Here, this one. So we have mentioned that there are separate software for screenwriting, right? There are Fatin, there are 𝐒𝐚𝐬𝐿, there are Final Draft. Final Draft is the most common one, most popular. Most Hollywood, Bollywood use this one. But for me, I use a script. This is developed by Indian, no? So why we are using this universal formatting? Because it has estimate time, no? So one page is an estimate time for 1 minute screen time. So everything was written for the director, the actors, the crew to combine all this one script. So here we can you see here? Here is the format. Exterior, there can be exterior, interior, and then this is old house. This is the scene heading. We also say slackline, and here we write the place and time of the scene, and this one is one scene, let's say. So we have to write specifically. When you say ext, exterior is outside, no? Interior is inside. So if you just write interior or interior house, no, which house you have to write that one. So you have to write specifically for this one. Nighttime, there can be nighttime, and this is the scene heading, and we have action. So this is the part where we write the action and character name. Here we see the character name John, and this one there is a dialogue again. Before dialogue we have parenthetical. This one is to express our what additional emotion, right? So expression we can write here, and there is transition. There are different types of transition. Here we have cut out, cut through. I mean, there is smart cut, match cut, dissolve in, fade out, many more. So you can use this one to cut, and there is shot. This one also, this is a part of cinematography. So there is wide shot, medium shot, all these things. And then montage. I did not write here the montage. What is montage? Can anyone? Montage. Yeah. So okay. So montage is to cut short the movie, right? Yeah, if we want to write, suppose I'm facing examination, I'm starting from the beginning of my reading, right? So up to this examination, up to result, let's say, we can just show few short, no? Then we can combine that one. That is a montage. This is very useful for what? For this one is for passage of time, right? So how about series of shot? Do you know series of shot? So it's a little bit different. Series of shot is a very few time, limit of time, no? In a very few time, that shot, different shot combined together. That was a series of shot. You can also, this one is very useful. And we have voiceover. Voiceover is unseen narration. So it's like if we want our scene to, someone send a letter, right? So we can just use voice letter. So it is unseen narrator. And how about off-screen, OS? It's written here, OS. OS is the character is not in the, let's say in the frame, maybe in another room, no? That one is off-screen. And there is off camera also. It's not written here. Off camera is the character is not in the camera frame, no? So you can differentiate all these things when you write the script. This is very useful, no? And again, so this is these are the format and elements, and then you can practice this right away if you want, if you download or may subscribe those software, no? So next, we almost finished. Here, okay, we can actually write the screen now. This one is, yeah, this one is very important. These are some golden rules, no? So we already discussed about visual story. So don't tell, no? We have to show, like we already explained the example. So thinking in pictures, this one is also imagination, the film visually, emotion and subtext. I just want to explain this subtext. What is subtext? Have you ever heard the word subtext? Subtext, this one is very useful, okay, in film. So when we say something, we doesn't really mean what we say. No, with different expression. Where suppose, let's say there are two couples now, and then the husband said, I'm going out with my friends. So, and then the wife said, okay, go, with different expression, right? She said, go, okay, go. I alone, go. But what she really means is not that one, right? That is the example of subtext. We can use this one in script writing. This is very useful. So, like, if you want to congratulate your friend, no, with like what? No, with avoiding eye contact, or with call that no speaking, and then something like that. But you never really congratulate. There is jealousy, right? So we can use subtext in that way. This one is very important. And symbolism. This one is also usually used in like art film. We already mentioned that. So symbolism is very important. Like let's say empty chair, no, watch, broken watch, something like that. So there are family dining table, no, one empty seat, always empty seat. So that may symbolize the loss, no? Okay, so since construction, all these things, pacing. How about pacing? What is pacing? Pacing is how slow, no? How slow or fast the film is. So the drama we was a short drama it was just now, that is slow pacing, right? So fast pacing is usually used in action comedy, no? And slow pacing we usually use in like film material type. And then okay, next. So this will be our last slide. So here are, I wrote some effective rules. Most of them we already explained. So I will not go much. Audience first. We have the audience will be our number one, no? So how about become the audience? So in art film, I will just mention this one again. Filmmaker visions is the most important one, no? Filmmaker's vision is important than the audience. So how do I tell this story? How do the story tell this one? So in this type of screenwriting, you can use you can become the audience, no? So every scene must have a purpose. Everything must connect. So to explain all these things, and simplicity is important. Emotion, rewrite. I will just say this: rewrite again. We have to rewrite and again. There should be first draft, second draft, fourth draft. No, first draft you can just write it down, or whatever comes in your mind. No, and then you can correct again the second draft, and then third draft you can replace some dialogue with good dialogue, something like that. So rewriting is very important, and finish up before perfecting. So this one, most of us, we just finish now, and then okay, put it down. Don't practice this one, and then keep learning. We have to keep learning. Even me, I am still learning every day now. So we have to keep learning. And this one, professional practice, I write here, maintain originality. We already talk about originality, right? Originality is very important. You can have idea from other film, no, but don't copy. No, do not copy other film. So originality is very important. And we can use standard. We already talked. There are final draft fade in here. You can download if you want right away after this one. And then there you can protect your screenplay. You can copyright it. No, there is copyright website. And then you can register in Indian Screenwriting Association. I'm also a member of Screenwriter Association. So you can register there. You can put your script there. So that belongs to you now. It's already copyright to you, no? So you can rewrite multiple times. Read professional screenplay. You can write this one. There are many screenplays to be read on those software. Okay, and observe also. Okay, these are the things I list out. We don't have much time, so that will be all for today. And I hope you learned something, and I am very happy to see you all. So if you have, there will be a question answer hours, no? Okay, thank you. Next slide. Next slide. Look. Oh, thank you.
Min lo la din pui sela. I think we get to learn a lot about script writing from Samuel L. Petrov. So we thank him with all our heart, and we would like to give appreciation for that. Alay di khan interaction kamang chun zom maila, we can have interaction time with Samuel. So is there anyone who would like to comment, ask something? So please feel free on that. Mizawala majang tepon I zona emo ti ama hanzo beldu te heta soilan bak te po khatam taka omin karing.
Ale masai sar che bele.
Oh, chị bé.
Hey, với nia slide munom tak. Mình một tira, tại cái na sar cái rồi tụi chú kha, chỉ đã tira kha ni ron soya script writing kha som pakhat live film kha nin siam to nin kalau shia. Kha tang kha mi ziak tur kha nin hun kha eng tia re nge iman pakhat chau ziak tur po khan hun eng tia re nge man ti le. Voi eng zan nge lo be don ve to. Eng tiang chin nge shing nu na hen kha tiang ziak chuak tur khan har sana eng zan nge ipal tang ve to ti lam pang zo ka kalau ngai tha cha ka chu min shil thei cho kalau mo tang.
Ai tiếng gió nó tới gần đông khá tầm mò, cho nên sắp trong khăn gần soi đủ tốt cái gần soi thầy là wa, mi dâu trong đủ tốt cái soi khát chắc cũng cái tiệm mà rồi chú, cái gần unau tên ông bé vangin, script kha, script hi cái gì tắc tắc mai hiền before I write, script hi cái gì tắc tắc mai hiền, anh nghe, a story hi cái ta ông vek tổ truyền ta, cho nên from the beginning to end. The story is already here before I write now. So when I write, everything has been connected now. All the scenes, all the story. So the writing part is not that long now, if we already have the story. But the draft, let's say the draft, I already told that one, in your phone or your notebook, there can be, no, then Thai call no it in chin chen an khanin chin chen a tur kha dialogue te scene te a kal dan tur te hei ta hin omanga hei eng tinga in connect ang ti zong song kha khang zong song kha if we have prepared everything, so that will be the longest part for me. I use around 3-4 months just for that one, and then the writing part is not that long. If we finalize around after 4-5 draft, let's say final draft will be around 4-5 draft, around 3-4 weeks, no, 3 weeks, let's say. Okay. Cho nên anh lâu kha cái sợi tòng kha nên cái chuyện thế bao hiện writer hay tiền mình en chuyện love story thế mo tiền til dialogue thế khan lâu ngay là chuyện nào trang chun bắt thiên thu thế bao gan giặc tàu ta bắt thiên thu thế hi hay tin anh mình một chuyện na kan Chris mail mình thì vắc lâu anh yang bắt thiên thu chả đâu thế khan lâu dẹp về mà rồi chú kan zia don hian kan in hlan ve na sa thin tho ta bible te kan ke wa kan research ka soi tong han kan research ta sa thin ta ten kan in hlan ve thlap thin ta kan ril ruai hian tin ka soi du chu story hi ngei tuang ngut ngut lama ni lawa kan ngei tuang ngut ngut khan aron lut ngal chuang lo ta ron lu dan te hi om ve a enga mun tak en tinan kan in rin lo thut lai then idea thadi aron lut thei ni kha tak kha de ka soi chu idea ka chin che zel tur ka te chu ten tu na po hian cái tùng miết lâu khai idea thật đấy còn lút thấy ta khai cần xin chiang à cho nên giờ là hiện in cái lấy văn nó sát xin khóc mày đi ngày tuổi ngót tập bốn mò à writing sim sim cái chút lấy văn chắc chắc tên cần giết ta ông giết chú ngày tuổi khăn thì mấy ngày tuổi nó sắp tới ngay à hay anh tin nghe nhàng mò cho nên emotional thấy bé tuổi cho nên cái mà ni khai writer ngay ngay lâu là as become the audience kan tiếng kan audience nga kan in end tuổi nita he film hi cái mà end tay là cái emotion anh em he scene hi bảy tay là film hi ông giết này thâu anh em thì giống giống thế cả and tinan sin om zanei lo te kha om ve treu thei ta mo kha tiang sin om zanei lo kha pe tai la mi pui hip tum ngor ngor awanga nge mi pui ti nui tum ngor ngor awanga sin te kha om treu thei ta ka zia tir driver ki ma ka zia ma sabera chu lo kha ka en let le hian a ma salam pang chu lo kha ka zep nem lu tu ka ni chu mo i kha chu ke ma pon ka in se ta chuan chu ka soi chu mi pui ti nui tu mo mu nom tir tum wang ngor ngor awang kan sin chu lo kha kan zep ve ka amai ro chu khami story kal ngai renga kal tir thau si khan humor tam tak atel thei zong ani om zia chu khami a scene a story a part of the story a khan mo chumi chu kan thiam chuanin kan practice than chuanin e a fu ber ka ti ke ma chon mo ki chu ka zia dan chu ni mai a anom to lo ni nga
Sir, a good story can have a great concept but still fails on screen. What separates a good idea from a genuinely good screenplay writing?
okay so which is why I explain all those terms, right? A good idea cannot alone create a good story, right? So which is why that should be combined. We already discussed about the developing the story. There is idea, concept, theme. So when we write a story or anything, a screenwriting or anything, we have to stick to the theme. What is the theme of that story? We talk about Titanic. No, if we write out of that love and sacrifice and all, the story will be different. So if we focus on that sacrifice, the love and the wealth and status cannot break the bond of those love story. If we stick to that theme, and if we have a good theme and the concept, that is a good advice for me, I think. So I don't know how you get it or not. You stick to the theme, right?
So, in many movies, we see that there are hidden Easter eggs all along the plot, like which often we fail to observe. But once we are done watching the movie, or maybe in some cases we watch movies twice, then we find that like hidden
Yeah.
symbols or stuff. So, like while writing a story, at which point do you add the such hidden like symbols or meanings?
Okay. Yeah. The very important question. So let's say, which is why I talk about the film title. Na? If you want to engage many audience, very simple story, very engaging conflict, emotion, you can just write those commercial film. But if you want to put your artistic value, okay, you can put in one of my script, Pununga Colony, no, I put those symbol. Iselo mấy thì nang pon xem pununga colony kan selo many viewers don't know that one, so I put the number 5, very important, so I relate with that one character after the movie, no? So everything is connected. So there are 4 letters and then the 5th received after years, and then four writing are received after 5, and then even the Bible verse, all those things, and how are what the verse say, all those things are connected. So what I symbolize here is that the number 5 is connected with that character. So I think nobody noticed that one. So which is why this one, like I said, in art film, your vision, the filmmaker vision is the most important thing. You must have the ability to tell that story to your audience. You can explain, you can have case study like here, no, in films. So this one is like a festival material type. So like I said, if you want to express your idea, emotion, that's up to you. No? So there is no better film type. You can write up film. So if you want to express your symbol, your subtext, all those things and all, that is up to you. Okay.
Oh, hello. Sarah, masain conductor Zara movie ka 𝐒𝐚𝐬𝐿𝐿 iti tero ka.
A screenplay ka zia
Tahan sar kami movie kan in ka atop dang han lak lo tu kan chuma ka kham lo tu 𝐒𝐚𝐬 puin. Khati nga khanin enge hatian lak lo mi puril ru lak lo do wa an lo ang chite ka khati nga ite ka soyang chun chun zom le the mo tin ka ani ngem ti la si zon tru ang type do ti hen a chuak the ngem su do me
ole thì nichina atir pe ka soyang khan 11 screenplay som pakhat kan jek to 8 kha ka original story ka soi to khamo chon 2 kha ka original story ani lota chumi chu conductor zara le I vobi khan ita ni chon conductor zara hi andrew story ani ta amai ro chu atam tak hi chu ka pho sak ve thota ka contribute ve thomo chuanin andrew story ti top dan ne kha I open ending ani ta china kan soi to ang khanin I hey anwar ve tho sim tanga po mo amai ro chu kha siam chun zom tum ania ani ta ka chuanin soi hi apoi lo turangai la tuna kan hrevek nga kan actors te henge mo kan hrevek atero an su theiri lo ni tuna chuanin a script po hi 50% vel a story phei chu kan nei vek to a part room mo a screenplay po hi 50% vel ang chu kan zo deuh thok to angani ta amaro chu kan chol le ngai ta ni ka story ka continue le ngei tura ti zok ania ai mu nomin mo amaro chu alak lo kha kan ti ve tho pe ni po khanin kha kan la continue theiri lawa tuna chuanin kan continue theyang em ti po chu kan la soi theiri lo ni chu
And then their ongoing project is Hindi feature film.
yes
Called Yet.
yes so this will be our starting point I don't know how it will work but we made Bollywood film we'll put into cinema in mainstream so the post-production will be started maybe next week so there is pre-production post-production and post-production I just add that one so pre-production is the preparation no? And the production is the shooting part and post-production is the editing part all those things and all no? Okay
Shall we take more questions or shall we end it here? Okay. Kan du tok man til pakhat kan zot ve shim hei a film siam mi chu ke ni pon kan en ve do vek china ta chanin a movie siam to zinga ama hianin enge a top 3 kan zot ve shim te ang angem go shilawa khan hi
emotionally chuanin hey emotionally chuan kan tianga ka a difference po kan zir to thawa rini le rin hi ka da sang du ka chan chu ka zia lai po hian ka emotion amo ke ma hi chuanin a thim ang zong chuanin a thim tha te ka ti chuanin antinanin pubuang and friends te ka ngai lu tuk ta amaro chu upload ang ngor ani chuanin upload te a construction ani chuanin pubuang and friends a har lu tuka ke ni po kan zia line kan confuse ngo kan ten nge ne a actors te how pay ka chuanin zia pon shet mumal ka ring lo an chang ve to pati khanin a director a ber po kha bole thina mo ke po kha ka bole zo thina te en le lo chun tiang vel khan ya chu ni me nge han than fak tur chu ka hre chuang lo ka ngai
genre azira ngai na
chuanin kanu pui chu ru hi ka award don na ni wangin ka ngai luwa tuna khan example a ron pek katuma amai ro chu hun ka du do na wangin example tam tak pek thaine kanu pui chu ru khan mo technically upon ka ngai lu bok
kan lom lu take somewhere dan ve khat kut beng le ang So we have one more film screening which is called